Hi. I've just sort of started. Hi, how you going? I've started when I press record, just closing my eyes for a moment. I'm kind of in a way counting down, so I hope I didn't have too much of a gap at the beginning. Just to kind of, I don't know, my intuition is telling me just to get in that space. So I'm going to listen because I've been listening to this intuition a lot lately, more and more. And it is causing, I don't know, a lot of shifts, a lot of upheavals. There's a lot more synchronicity. And I'm finding that the more I practice it, isn't it funny? The more I practice something, the I don't want to say the better I get for this particular one, but the more I practice, the more evidence I see that my practicing is actually having results. So I have to go with it. And that's even why I'm here. And I'm not even sure why I'm here, but I'm doing it anyway. It's sort of been, as I've said in a few videos, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, that I've had this pull for a long time. And I feel like it's like turning up late. I feel like I'm late to the game, but as I'm learning that time is an illusion, it's not even really real. It is kind of real in our experience in this reality, but time is an illusion, so none of us are ever late. So, me feeling late to the game, is that just my human self being hard on me? Because we can be so hard on ourselves. I think sometimes we can be harder on ourselves than we can be on other people. Like we expect so much from ourselves. And I think actually, as humanity, as society as a whole, I think I don't know, I think we do too much. I don't think we're meant to be human doings. Aren't we meant to be human beings? Huh? Aren't we like, when you think about that, human beings, the emphasis is on the being, I feel. But look at our world. Look how busy we are. Look how, in some areas in the world, children have to go out and work. Children miss out on their really important childhood and have to just go out and work hard. And we've sent children into mines. We have them toiling in the fields, and they miss out on that really important foundation of fun and love and just being held and knowing that you're looked after and you don't have to worry. And I think actually we can equate that to how we're meant to feel in our lives all the way through it. Like even as adults, we're meant to feel held by our parent, which is our parents. We could say God, source energy, universe, and our Mother Earth, the Father, Son, and planet Earth, the Son, the Father, the Holy Spirit. But we're not like, what are we doing here? What are we doing on this planet? I have said this before in at least one other video, that I feel like somewhere along the way we got lost or hijacked, and there was a real system of control and greed and power that took over. So obviously we have polarities in our world. We have, if you break it on down to the fundamentals, we have either, oh, I didn't know, for some reason I paused and went, which hand do I use for which one? Does it matter? I was going to say love and fear, but part of me went, oh no, it's the wrong way round. For some reason, This is love, and that's fear. Isn't that funny? Sorry, that's just in the moment. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, or does it? But if you break it on down, we have a choice of either following the path of love or the path of fear. And I feel like, in a way, as we were going through our experience, these paths, as we're learning, I'm trying to get at where you can see it, we can kind of jump either way. As you're learning what it's about and consequences, repercussions, what it feels like when you do something good or bad, we kind of hop back and forth. But eventually, what is our main choice each time we have the choice of either choosing the path of love or fear? As we go along, I feel like the paths are pretty close. And then as we grow into ourselves, they kind of widen. So at a certain point, the jumping back and forth becomes difficult because it's quite a jump, especially when you get out to like here. So the trajectory as we're going, like we get to a point where we just stick on that path, maybe. This is me still just working it out. So if you're on that path and you've predominantly chosen through the path of love, you're going to be at points where you're not really going to be, I think, even on that path, because I'm thinking, even as a good people, sometimes we make mistakes, but I think if you've predominantly chosen the path of love, it's going to be a little thing. But if you've chosen the path of fear and you've gotten to that point where you can no longer really jump back and forth, you may still have points where you make good-hearted decisions, but predominantly you're kind of stuck in that trajectory. And I'm just thinking out loud. You can share with me what you think of that. But now I've forgotten what I started with. There's that old memory thing again. This morning, so I was listening to, Angie Hipple, and she was on another beautiful show. I've just forgotten the name, and she's another lovely person, but just beautiful energies, talking about life and who we've been. And I just started crying because I don't want to, again, like if I start crying, I can cut it out, so that's okay. But maybe if I do, maybe I'll leave it, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to cry right now, but I did this morning, and I found myself crying quite a bit over, I guess it's like good stuff too. It's like the stuff of hope, the stuff of things working out, the stuff of, sorry, I might say stuff a bit to encapsulate something. The stuff, the content, the energy, the essence of our lives. And when I look back in my life, and it hasn't been easy, I've had trials and tribulations, but I think most of us have, because that's part of our journey, is the learning of what we want. So essentially, we're meant to come into this world, and I do feel like, yes, we've been off track and we've got it wrong. I feel like we're meant to come in as these pure little beautiful baby souls, and for that first period of life to be held, to know that we're safe, that we're cared for, that we're provided for, that we're loved. And that's what I was getting at the beginning. So I feel like that was corrupted, because when you corrupt a soul from the very beginning, from when they are a little babe in arms, and when they're not in arms, when they're not held, when they're not loved, that then sets the trajectory, which actually fits on my path story, that they do end up heading more along this path of fear, because they did not have the foundation. They didn't really have the play with working it out. They kind of predominantly ended up on this path of fear. Okay, this is fitting together for me now. Now it's making sense, because sometimes I wonder if I make any sense whatsoever. So I think the way we're meant to be, and maybe where once upon a time before our energy was corrupted, that, sorry, my virus checker has just popped up and blocked the screen. Was that a sign? Because everything, all right, I will get off track if I hop onto this tangent, but everything is a sign. I'm finding everything is for you. Anything you note is noteworthy. But before I tangent off, let me try and get back to where I was flowing. And that is, yeah, I believe that that's so important, those early years. And I think I've heard, I can't recall where the phrase was from, but it was, give me a child till they are, it was either 5 or 7, and I will make the man, or something similar, or I will show you the man. So those first years of life are so important. But what is happening is, through our corrupted energies, and I don't really know what I'm saying, but I have a habit of saying stuff anyway, but that's okay. Bear with me if you're still here. Okay, so in those first years, if we don't have that foundation where we just feel loved, we feel supported, we feel guided, which is what we are all meant to feel our whole existence, because we are always loved and guided and looked after by our source energy, by our guides, by our angels, and we have so much support, but we do cut ourselves off from it because we don't believe it. And only what you believe in life can actually be in your reality. That's really important. You should write that down. Only what you believe is possible can happen in your reality. So if you're born into a world where you don't feel loved, you're not given food, you're treated horribly, you're not feeling valued, how the hell can you believe in a higher source? How the hell can you believe that you can choose to be looked after? You can choose love. So we've been corrupted, and I feel like a lot of the horrible things that happen to children in the world is to reinforce that corruption and reinforce herding people onto that path of fear from the very beginning. And some children don't even have a chance. And I think we should feel like, whether you have children or not, and if you do have children, make sure it doesn't mean like give them everything in a spoilt way, but the foundation of love. They've got food, they've got plenty of hugs, feeling part of the family, feeling like belonging, feeling valued. But now I've lost it again. There's that memory. I'm so sorry. Please excuse my memory at the moment. I'm seriously finding it very hard to focus at the moment. It's almost like there has been, is it a fog, a barrier? Like I'm working on or playing on removing it from my belief system at the moment. So I'm going internally and I'm trying to remove something which I feel has been there for a long time. But then again, I need to go right back to my belief systems. Anyway, I wonder if I can do it instantly. If I can believe I can do it instantly, I think I can, but something in me is saying I can't. Why is that? So from the start, some people don't have a chance, and that's been perpetuated in our society. But I do believe now a lot of things are coming up, and it's so visible now. The truth cannot hide. The truth is something that will always come to the surface, because the truth is light, the truth is buoyant, and the truth is meant to be seen. So we're having that now. But I do believe we all need to take the time in our busy human doing lives to really think about what it is we want in life, to really think about who we want to be, how we want to be, what is the world that we want to be in. Because if we spend the time thinking about it, imagining it, writing about it, talking about it, writing songs about it, singing about it, that is when we are seriously creating with intention, with consciousness. And I don't think we've been doing it enough, but I do see now, because I see so many beautiful YouTube channels and there's so many beautiful Instagram and Facebook where people are creating places to help other people, like to prompt people to think more about what their choices are and the fact that you do have choices. I actually recall when I was younger, not knowing that I had choices and kind of being swept up in an apathy of life, a wave of apathy going up and down and just getting pulled into other people's lives and just swept here and there. And I did learn a lot, but it was the hard way. I don't want my children to learn the hard way. I don't want your children to learn the hard way, any child. I think it's time for us to go back into ease and grace and abundance for everyone, wealth for everyone, everyone feeling at home here on earth, no matter where they are, finding their family. Because it's not just about the family we were born into, we create our family. We bring our sisters and our brothers into our lives and our aunties and uncles, and we might not have known each other for half our life, and then we meet and we go, oh, I feel you. You're like me. I feel your energy. So, okay, that's all I'm going to say right now. I don't even know if I can encapsulate the whole thing because I've kind of forgotten what I said already. But I do remember, and I always remember the point that only what you believe is possible can happen in your reality. If that's one thing that you take with you, and then just actually go and see what you do think is possible, and then really look at what you think is not possible and see if you can change that, if that's something you want. If you are blocking yourself from something, this might be a good point to really have a look at that. And don't forget to be a human being. Don't be a human doing. Yes, it's great to be productive and make stuff and do stuff, but I think we've gone a bit overboard. I think we've got swept up and we're not machines, and perhaps we should come back to ourselves and come back to nature. But I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just speaking, and if this is not for you, that's okay. If it is, then that's wonderful. Thank you for being here. I'm always like, I've only had a few comments and I've only had a few views really and a few likes, and that's okay. It's funny, and I'll just say I saw on one in the, when you have the videos, you like your videos and the analytical things, and I've got a couple of likes, it's not many views, and they all said 100%, and then one of them said 50%, and I went, what does that mean? And I'm looking at it, and I saw I had one like and one dislike just on one video, and I'm like, what? What is that dislike? And it was funny for a moment because I went, oh, should I delete the video? Should I go back and listen and go, what did this one person not like? And an old version me might have. And then I went, it's okay. Like, which one am I going to focus on? The person who liked it or the person that didn't. Like, I probably think we shouldn't even have a dislike button because it's kind of like if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything. But if I watch videos and it's not my thing, I just go find the thing that is mine. I don't tell them, I don't like you. I don't like your video. I don't know, I just turn to what I do like. So in that moment, I had a pivotal moment. Do I put my attention on the negative, the dislike, or do I put my attention on, no, I had one person who liked it. So I'm happy. So that's what I'm going to do. So thank you for that person who liked it. And you know, this person over here, it's okay. I'm okay. Like, we can't please everyone. I've worked out in life. You can't please everyone in life. You're going to have people who love you, people who hate you, people in between. And that's okay because we will literally tie ourselves in knots if we do try and live for everyone else, even though I really love the being of service to others on that collective thing. But then a lot of that is taking care of self when you're doing that balance. And it's okay. We're all here together trying to do our best. As long as we're trying to do our best and not hurt anyone else or be mean, nasty, then we'll be fine. Let's just work it out. Okay, that's it for me. I'm going to stop before I ramble too much longer. Thank you so much if you are here. And if you do actually listen and you get to the end, let me know, just for fun. Or you know what, it's fine. You don't have to. But I'm just going to do it. As I've said, I feel compelled for whatever reason. I just don't know, but I'm listening to the intuition that says do it. So I'm here. Okay, wherever you are, whatever time of day, evening, I hope you're having a beautiful time and I'm sending much love. Mwah.